Hello, friends. It's Chop.
Me and Jack D. Ripper, total commitment.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm glad I did because the third episode is probably the most risible piece of shit yet. Probably it's like
Okay, now I'm gonna
you
have to
guys
watch this
got
as soon as
to
we're
the
done with this.
conclusions
Yeah.
you did about this show without having seen this episode. Kind of amazing to me.
What's
It's
the third
Gutsy
one?
Women Seek Justice, and it is
Oh,
about
no.
women doing criminal justice reform. So it is Hillary talking to a bunch of defund the police type activists and people who've been not defund the police, not that at all. Sorry, activists around reducing sentences, getting people out of jail, and just the idea of like decarcerating in some meaningful degree. And so she's talking to these people who are part of it. One of them is somebody whose mom was like a crack addict and kept getting arrested and going to jail. And she's talking to Hillary Clinton and she's like, she didn't need to go to jail. She needed rehabilitation. And Hillary Clinton is standing there going, yes, absolutely. Just
Oh
like,
my
Ms.
God.
Super
Psycho
Predator.
Oh my God. Oh
you
my
fucking vampire, to just stand there, stone face, go, yeah, absolutely. You like built your fucking castle on these people's bones.
What's the fourth episode? Like, why it's bad to run a sort of like blood and soil white identity politics campaign in the Democratic Party in 2008?
Yeah, and we asked the people who survived the Bernie Sanders doing that. That's right, me. I'm the victim again.
Yeah, we need an episode deprogramming Bernie Bros.
Yeah.
So she has this conversation with these women who've been absolutely dicked over by the incarcereal state that her and her husband helped create, and did not acknowledge any of that.
Greatly
She's like,
escalate the war on drugs.
We need to. So either people like that, other women. Another hair-raising story. This woman was married to a abusive corrections officer, and this guy was beating her up all the time. And she would call the police, and they kept dismissing it because he was a law enforcement. And then she left him finally, and he shot her 10 times. One more. What is that? One more than 50 Cent, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he was convicted, but he was only sentenced to 10 years. She says, one for every bullet he put in me. And then she became a cop.
Oh my God.
Excuse me?
She became a police officer. Hillary's like, why? So you've seen how broken the justice system is. What made you want to be a police officer? And she's like, it is broken, but I feel like we can change it from the inside. And it's like, God damn, that is brutal to just be that conditioned, to not be able to get, like, even think of getting out of that. Like, these are the bad guys. Jesus Christ, run away.
I'm gonna reform the SD from the inside in 1941 in Germany. The rap thing, it reminded me of another thing. This obviously pales in comparison to things about violence in the carceral state. You know, Hillary just nodding as usual. But okay, to rewind a little bit, at the rap thing, when they talk about how conservatives made such hay about WAP, who can I remember? Who's the last time someone in power did something like that about maybe a rapper, a woman rapper, perhaps?
Oh, Sister
Soldier? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like every single thing. Every single thing.
Like, when it mattered and I was in the driver's seat, I fucking destroyed you people like the bugs you are. But now I'm forced to suck up to you because all I could do is hang around in the culture because my power base has been destroyed.
On times have changed.
And so I now need to suck to you like a barnacle. And that's what's so disgusting, because it's these people who've been horribly traumatized by the system, celebrities who are just hobbyists, and then these fucking disgusting opportunists who are clearly just getting in on the ground floor of a fucking lifestyle politics scam.
Like actual lizard people, because they can just change their skin whenever they want.
It's wild. So it's like part of it is like this. It's honestly an infomercial for like the NGO state, like the liberal NGO world that she's like queen of. And then she's got these horrible interviews with the victims of her own violence, and then fun tea parties with celebrities. So this episode has these like grim interviews with these women who have struggled a lot. And then, of course, that's gross. So they needed to cleanse the palate. So they have an interview with noted criminal justice reformer and attorney Kim Kardashian, where they discussed how brave she was for doing her advocacy that got that lady out of jail. Not saying at all that it was Donald John Trump himself that fucking got that lady out of jail. Hillary in a million years would not have fucking. You're telling me Hillary Clinton as president would have fucking what? Was she a murderer or something? She was a big time drug dealer, whatever it was. She's gonna let her out on the streets? Hell no. Hillary Clinton doesn't need your ass at that point. Trump was like, because he was like a goldfish braid, you know, the lady with the large butt, she makes a good point. Let's do it. It was Trump.
Like the point you made like before we started recording about what was it like in some context of like civil rights and how inspired she was by it, but like when she was
we'll talk. That's a later episode. Yeah, but she just rewrites her history, and it's just like there's an episode about the LGBTQTX community in this episode, and of course she talks about it, and they even breeze by the fact that, oh yeah, you were against gay marriage for a long time, right? Just well, I had an amazing evolution, like many people did. So like she gets credit at every point for being in the right. She's either she's either doing the right thing pragmatically for her career and therefore the greater good, or she's fighting the struggle, by which she means when it's politically convenient to do so.
I think that's the other main objective of the show. Like, it's a hard launch of Chelsea as, you know, she's the next Clinton. She's going to be the standard bearer.
If that's a hard launch, you're talking about the USS, the Challenger shuttle.
Yeah. But it's also about, you know, like Hillary myth making and like, you know, protecting her legacy, right?
She's always right at every moment. She's always embodying the right side of history. She's smugly content to be more realistic than the idealists and more idealistic than the cynics, which makes them her the perfect person.
But a day late and a dollar short, she says the right things.
And it's nauseating to see her reinscribe this with her victims. It's like Rupert Pupkin holding the fucking Jerry Lewis hostage and making him do his talk show. Like, dance for my amusement, puppets. It's sick shit. So she talks to Kim Kardashian, blows her about what a fucking brave she was. Oh my God, you took the bar 4 times. Congratulations. Wow. I really respect your intellect.
Pass.
I really respect your intellect. Oh, they also have like a little trivia match, like a bar question trivia match, like, you know.
See, that's just cruel. Kim Kardashian has not
and they do it as
passed
a quiz.
The bar.
They do it as a game show between Kim and the lawyer Hillary. And like Hillary is clearly not like having fun at that, and he is really, really having a hard time keeping her contempt for Kim Kardashian at a low fucking simmer. But then the best part is that woven through all of this thing is this interaction they have with Mariska Hargitay in a Manhattan studio or bookstore where they do owl-style monologues.
What?
Yes, where they teach them about storytelling. So they did the clown college. Now they're doing a storytelling class where they're going to learn to do monologues.
They do know that Mariska Hargitay is a fake woman cop, right? Like having her on the criminal justice show is like.
I mean, no, Hillary doesn't. This mainstream does that. That's all AOC stuff. Cop again. They don't buy into that. Like, remember, these are the people. This is not the full Twitter liberal experience. This is the more curated, more boomer. So they like her because she's on the TV shows they watch. And she's also seemingly kind of she's very actory, I guess I would say. She's very theatrical, and it's kind of honestly cringe-inducing. And she does this very theatrical performance, and eventually Chelsea gives a monologue.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And it is a story from her childhood, and it is a story about how she's on the playground, and she's like maybe 3rd grade, and one of her mean classmates comes up to her, one of this boy, and he says, "Say, Chelsea, what do you think of Miss Hannigan?" Hannigan, that's whatever the name of their class teacher was, 3rd grade teacher was, and she goes, "Oh, I love Miss Hannigan." And this kid says to her, "Well, you know what the nicest thing you can say to somebody to say that you really like them? Fuck you." And so then Chelsea says she ran up to Miss Hannigan and said, "Hey, Miss Hannigan, fuck you." And then she said that because that school still had corporal punishment, she was paddled in the hallway by Miss Hannigan.
Oh my God.
But then Miss Hannigan cried and hugged her afterwards.
What?
Chelsea,
what?
Her life is insane. Like, she had no other option but to become an alien.
I wish you could see Felix's face right now.
Oh my God. It's
like this psychosexual, this is a relationship of maternal relation. Like being dominated and then accepted by a mother figure that she never had in her entire life. So it's like this fucking tree of life memory to stand in to the rest of her life where she's just this shadow appendage of her psychotic mother.
That is the saddest thing is she'll never understand how significant that is. She had this.
She just thought it was a fun story to tell on the owl.
Yeah. She she had this thing that like, yeah, only would happen in like a Terrence Malick movie. Like only that would have so much symmetry to the adult you became, and would like anyone with any type of like guile or
self-awareness.
Yeah, would like if you remember that, you'd like burst into tears. You'd be.
Well, you certainly wouldn't recount it to anyone.
Well, like if it related to your current life that much, you'd be like, oh my fucking God, it was like written in the stars, like all these pathologies I have, this encapsulates it perfectly. But it's like basically her DMT moment at the end of her life.
Yes, exactly. That
staring her
spank.
Yeah, it's staring her in the face, and she's like, so that brings mean tweets a new meaning when I see fuck you. Like it just fucking nothing, just fucking whooshes through her. Like she is. I know that you said that they're trying to like intro her as a like lifestyle brand thing, which I agree. I think they're trying to do that, but it's like she is so like. Not only do I think Barron Trump would have a better shot of being like a presidential kid star, I think that he would have a better shot doing like women's lifestyle branding.
He could have his own shapewear line. Barron could have his own shapewear line like that.
Yeah.
Chelsea's an emotional sieve, right? Like everything just passes through her, and she's recounting every single one of her core memories, particularly like anything that involves, a stand-in for her own mother, like is traumatic. And she
it's
doesn't
just
like
this trauma. Like all she remembers about the White House is being laughed at on television. I mean, not to risk probably never around.
I mean, not to risk being like Rush Limbaugh or the writers of SNL here. Like, I do genuinely like. I kind of felt bad for Chelsea after.
No, I feel bad for her.
I really feel bad for her.
To be this way. She never asked to be this way. This is not her fault. Like she's vat grown. She's vat grown. What are you supposed to do when you're like a veal calf like that? Like, what do you expect of people? Like, I mean, we're mean to her, I guess, but it is a terrible show. I'm sorry.
But like, I gotta say though, like, I mean, as bad as I feel for her, like watching her on this show, one cannot help but be struck by that. Like, she has nothing to say about anything.
When in fact, like the more you hear her talk,
she has no point of view at all.
Like it becomes totally apparent.
She just repeats platitudes. Like, like you're in school to like, repeat the series of words that like teacher will be impressed by. She has no point of view or personality at all.
Well, but like watching this show, it becomes so apparent. Like you can see exactly how she was made, like exactly how she became Chelsea Clinton, especially like seeing her mom right next to her. It's like, oh, this makes perfect sense why you became this.
It's a fascinating document for that reason. It's very, it's this open like pseudo documentary. Like they're trying to tell you one story, but like because they can't know how they look to others because of the bubble they live in, they present themselves in this like shocking light.
They're telling the story of their own pathology. Like that's the real thing that they can't make away, right? Like the like rotting pathology at the heart of the Clinton family.
It all gets it all gets observed one way or the other. So I'll go through the rest of these quickly.